wedding. Hope the wedding goes well. Can please send my best wishes to the happy couple. Hope you're all having a fantastic time. One from Rosie's mum. Best wishes to Jamie and Daisy for the rest of their lives together. And then from our uncle over in New Zealand, basically he has said, last year I had the extreme pleasure of meeting my English family, many of whom I've never met before. During my 6-7 week stay, I was really well looked after and made to feel so welcome. Among the memories I will forever cherish was meeting all the younger generation. What wonderful young people Jamie and Daisy are. I would have loved to have shared this day with you, but rest assured I will be thinking of you. My very best wishes to you both for a long and loving life together. And Mitchell and Rosie, when your turn comes, you might consider a bit of comeuppance and plan your wedding on one of our beautiful beaches in New Zealand. Have a great day, Uncle John. And last but not least, from Joe and Gary, best wishes for your wedding day.
Are these all kinds of people that
I think it's seriously, yeah.
I'm here, yeah?
Apart from the one from me.
I'm going to be here a while, by the way.
Is that you?
Yeah. You don't need to read that one. Oh, take 2 seconds.
Just have a full sleep in.
Exactly. That's from Auntie Dawn and Uncle Alan, saying just have a wonderful day. Oh, it's nice.
Should have really opened these beforehand.
Yeah.
Oh, am I keeping that? So this is from Glenn and Jenny. To Jamie and Daisy, congratulations. All our love for a wonderful future together, Glenn and Jenny.
It's just,
Fan John.
I've got the glasses.
I can't read that. Tory. Faye and John, congratulations on your marriage.
And last but not least,
There's one more.
to Daisy and Jamie, wishing you both every happiness together and in your future lives together as Mr. and Mrs. Henry. Love, Sharon, Paul, Megan, Amy and Emily.
Right. This is our speech now. You have to bear with us because we are bricking it. Yeah, I'm not joining you on that.
Right. Evening all. I'm sure most of you have some idea who we are, but in case of you don't, I'm Mitch, Jay's younger brother, and this is Will, Jay's mate. We're the best men. I'm sure you all agree that everything has been perfect today. We've all been lucky enough to share, we've all been lucky enough to be invited to this beautiful place, but unfortunately you can't expect perfection, which is why you stuck with us for the next few minutes. So apologies in advance.
In all seriousness, we're both so honoured that Jay has asked us to be best men and that we're able to share this special day with him on such a personal level. I think me and Mitch are both relieved that he chose both of us, so neither of us had to stand up here on our own. We're both really nervous about this speech. This is the first time, and maybe, hopefully, the last. Either of us have to be best man, so please bear with us.
We'd just quickly like to thank Jamie for his speech and Jason for his speech. You've all left us with a hard act to follow, so thanks for that.
Apart from we thought he was going to say a bit more, so...
So this was planned for you to say more, but you didn't.
Anyway, sit back, get comfortable, make sure your drinks are full, and I'll leave you in Mitch's capable hands as he shares a few stories from his traumatised childhood.
Well, I enjoyed a hell of a long time of terrorisation and bullying at the hands of my brother. One of the earliest memories I have of our special brotherly bonding moments was when he persisted to ping me back and forth with my baby walker. He wouldn't even give me a minute's rest apparently. Brotherly love from an early age, some may say. Another one that stands out for me was a couple of years later on my second birthday. You might think he'd given me a day off on my birthday, but clearly not. One of my presents was a water gun. I thought it was the nuts, made me feel like I was in the army. That was until Jay decided to come and steal it off me and continually spray it with me. Whenever I asked for it back, you guessed it, he sprayed me some bloody more. As you're all probably more than aware, we are a very football orientated family, and Jay and I used to play a lot of football in the garden. If If you were under the impression that these were mildly competitive and fair local derbies, you'd be very wrong. Obviously, all of my goals were unquestionably miles offside, and every time I won the ball, it was a blatant and potentially career-ending foul. As you'd expect, if Jay scored, it was a peach of a goal every time, and I should make the effort to try and imitate his perfect technique when kicking the ball. If you don't feel sorry for me already, then now you're going to. The icing on the cake was when he turned me into a human mobile zoo for his own personal entertainment. He used to... You remember this, don't you? He used to squeeze the end of my fingers down and tell me to make different animal noises. Be a pig, be a horse. At the time,
Take that back myself.
at the time, he was much bigger than me, so you're probably wondering how I got him off. I had no choice but to make the noises that he was throwing at me. If I didn't, the finger squeezing continued. Fully. These are more or less the only terrorising incidents, and my version may be slightly biased, as I'm pretty sure I wasn't the angel I am on occasions. Because at the end of the day, he is the best brother I could ask for, an even better son and an even greater person. He's always helped me and been there for me when he can, even when his game of FIFA is finished. And I'm proud to call him my brother. I do have to say though, Jay, just how lucky you are. You will leave it today with a wife who is warm, loving and caring. And Daisy, how lucky you are as well. You get to leave here again the world's best
Got back to England dancing.
Now, some of you may find this hard to believe because I am an absolute athlete and my body's a temple. But my entry into the Henry household all started with the offer of food. Jay and I had known each other for quite a while through school, but when we started playing football together, we got a lot closer. One Saturday afternoon, Sam and Lee invited me round the next morning for a sausage baguette, and like I was going to say no to that. So like the polite young man I was, I accepted. Come Sunday morning, they'd clearly forgotten all about it because the next day knew I was knocking on the door, waking them all up. Anyway, the rest they say is history. It didn't take long for me to join in on the Mitch terrorising antics, and before he knew it, poor Mitch had two of us to put up with.
Well, the fondest memory of these antics that I've got is when the two of them literally used to sit on top of me, pin me down and tickle me repeatedly. They wouldn't stop until I was laughing and shouting so much that I had to start a dribble and spray at them to get off. Rosie will tell you all about how I am with being tickled. Don't get any ideas anyway.
A couple of years later, we all went on rugby tour with Mitch to Chichester. The five of us were all staying in the caravan together, but anyone would have thought that me and Jay were on our own in Ibiza. We went into full lads on tour mode. The main event of the trip was getting lost in the caravan park. I'm ashamed to say that we were far more pissed on 2 cans of cider than we should have been. In our defence, we were 15 and the cider was, I'm going to say 8%. Anyway, to cut a long story short, we jumped on a bus. As far as we knew, this bus had taken us out into the middle of Chichester. We had a bit of a panic moment and got off surrounded by fields. We started to make our way back for what seemed like hours, staggering through muddy fields and diving through thorn bushes. Turns out the bus was only doing laps of the caravan park and we were about 15 minutes away.
Yeah, I don't think either of you saw a single match in that rugby tour anyway.
No, they didn't.
No, we didn't. Not too shabby for a caravan meal though, was it, Sam? A few more years go by and Mitch hits puberty. Overnight he grows about 3 foot. He's got a better beard than me and Jay combined. Things are about to change for Jay on the terrorising Mitch front.
Well, one afternoon Jay and I were having one of our usually brotherly tiffs and he punched me in the arm. Well, like any brother's instinct, I hit him back and that was the end of it. A few days later I saw Will. He told me when he saw Jay last, he told about our little exchange and his words were, "Cool, I'm never hitting my brother again." The other day he hit me back and it bloody hurt. Don't let him know that though.
As part of my research, I discovered that according to tradition, I'm supposed to sing Jay's praises and tell you all about his many good points. Well, I'm sorry, I can't sing and I won't lie. Jay and I have been through a lot over the years, good and bad. We share many similarities, one of them being our weird bendy thumbs. I spent near enough every weekend of my teenage years sleeping on a mattress on Jay's floor. He literally was my brother from another mother. He still is. Although there were times where we were convinced we must have been separated at birth. It's hard to pick out just a few memories, but here are a couple that make me smile the most. Of all the times I stayed at Jay's, the ones that stand out the most, funnily enough, tend to be the ones that involve alcohol. One of these being the night I developed a taste for red wine, I don't know why. Sam had a novelty glass wine and I can't remember if it held half a bottle or a whole bottle, but either way, downing the whole thing was not a good idea. I woke up the next morning feeling like complete shit, only to discover that there was a big purple puddle in Jay's ensuite round the toilet. I've got no recollection of being sick, but I must have been at some point. Another day that springs to mind was over Rochford Rec. I don't know how old we were, maybe 14 or 15. We managed to get our hands on 4 cans of Budweiser. We sat over the park like the classy teenagers we were and forced ourselves to drink 2 cans of beer each. They were absolutely disgusting, but obviously it made us look extra cool and double hard to sit over the park with our beers. I'm sure that put us off beer for a while. We stuck to our bottles of Jack's Fruit Cider from then on. Look at us now, we love a beer. At this point in the speech, I'd love to tell you all about the stag, but unfortunately the law of the stag dictates I'm not allowed to do this. Anyway, Jay's solicitors advised that it's best to stay cautious and quiet until the charges are fully investigated. Although getting me a drink or two at the bar may help to loosen my lips. In all seriousness, the stag was great fun and with a really good group of lads. We had a good turnout, and had it been local, there was a list of about another 30 blokes who wanted in, which is testament to Jay. We all drank too much, and some of us smoked way too much. Not naming any names. However, I think the award for the most pints consumed in 3 days would have to go to the fathering room. Lee, I think it's fair to say you drank every single one of us under the table and James Henry, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for asking me to stand up here today with your brother. It really is an honour. But mainly for always being there for me without fail, even when I didn't always deserve it. You're the best mate I could ask for, and I love you, mate. Okay, enough of the stories. We were both worried about making this speech long enough. We went down the pub, and once we got to reminiscing, it was hard to stop. It was actually a really nice afternoon, sitting in the sun and laughing about all the stories we had from growing up with Jay. It seemed to make it all the more surreal that we were there to write a speech for our best mate and brother's wedding. Proper grown-up stuff. It seems like just the other day we were all still at school and I was doing Jay's homework for him.
But you'll be pleased to know we're almost done. We want to take some time to say, Daisy, you look absolutely stunning today. It's been a beautiful day for a beautiful bride. We hope the ceremony was everything you dreamed of and more. We'd like to let you know that how impressed we are that we managed to get Jay out of a pair of football shorts and football boots. On behalf of Jay, we want to thank all the bridesmaids for looking after Daisy today. Alice, Molly, Rosie and Tony, well done girls. I'm sure you also agree they look amazing.
To the 2 blokes who on the face of it have also had a pretty easy day, a bit of pouting and trying to look pretty is as strenuous as it's got for them. So a big thanks to the ushers, Rob and James. Both looking good today.
And how can we forget the parents of the bride and groom, Sam, Lee, Jason and Laura. Firstly and most importantly, we want to thank you for bringing these 2 wonderful people into the world, and me. Secondly, thank you for all your efforts in making today happen. It's been a faultless day, everyone is looking good and has had a great day. Thank you to all for have come to share this special day with Jamie and Daisy.
So join us both in wishing them all the love and happiness in the world for their future together.
So please stand up and raise your glass to Mr. and Mrs. Henry.
Mr. and Mrs. Henry.
Cheers everyone.
Cheers.
Well, mate.